Kids, all the kids, you're already on your way. Come on up to the front. Will you do that for me? Okay, come on. There you go. Got a lot of you. As they're settling in for the adults, there was a woman and her husband. They were married a long time. He died, left her $20,000. A month or so later, she's talking to her friends, and she's talking about how broke she is. She doesn't have any money. And they said, well, he left you, your husband left you $20,000. And she said, yeah, but I spent $5,000 on the funeral, and then $15,000 on the monument stone. And they said, that must be a heck of a monument stone. How big is it? And she said, oh, about 3.5 carats. Yeah, we get it after a while. Anyway, it's good to see all of you. How are you doing today? Good. You hear those readings? What were they about? Oh, good answer. I'm gonna give you 3 words, because I always do 3 because I can remember 3. When I was your age, I could remember 5 words. Now 3, okay? But before I talk about those 3 words, I want you to know what's happening in the church right now, okay? Those days before Lent, before Easter, what do we call it? I just gave you a hint. Easter. What do we call it?
Just for a second.
Before Easter, those days preparing us, there's 40 of them. Lent, perfect. I helped you out. I gave it to you. And what do we do during Lent? We prepare ourselves, right?
Prepare ourselves for the upcoming year.
For the coming of Jesus' death and his resurrection. We're preparing ourselves for Easter, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, Easter happened. A couple weeks ago, we had Easter, right? And then, did you know that after Easter, there is another celebration period?
I was having M&Ms.
What was that?
She had M&Ms after Easter. M&Ms after Easter.
Oh, you got M&Ms?
Yeah.
Did you bring any for me? Well, that would have been thoughtful, wouldn't it? I actually like M&Ms, huh?
I got it.
Oh, really? Oh, well,
I got
good.
a book.
So,
I got a frog.
did you get fry bread?
I got a frog book.
Oh, frog book. It sounds like fry bread. These are old ears. Frog book sounds like fry bread.
I got clothes.
You got all that for Easter?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I want you to know that just as we have 40 days before Easter that we use to get to know Jesus more, right? There's 40 days after Easter. And do you know what we're supposed to be doing during this 40 days?
Getting ready for Jesus' birthday.
Getting ready for his birthday? You mean getting ready for Christmas? No, we're getting ready for something called the Ascension. And do you know what the Ascension is? When something ascends, what does that mean?
It means it sends to heaven.
It sends to heaven. So when we say we're waiting for the Ascension, what do you think happens on the Ascension?
Something ascends into heaven.
Yeah, and who do you think that is that ascends into heaven? Starts with a J. Jesus, very good. I'm giving you clues today. This is a good thing. So he ascends into heaven. So what we're doing from Easter until the Ascension, it's 40 days. Just like 40 days of Lent, 40 days. And what are we supposed to be doing during that 40 days? What are the readings all about, do you think? They're about proving to us, Jesus is proving to us that everything he said was true. In other words, after he rose from the dead, he appeared. The readings we've heard are about Jesus appearing to different people, right? And showing, I did what I said. I died, and I rose from the dead, and now I'm alive, and I'm back. So these 40 days are for us to realize that Jesus is real, that he really did rise from the dead, that Easter was real, and that we are to be prepared for his leaving this earth. Does that make sense? And the way he helps us is by, number 1, helping us to believe in our hearts it's real. Number 2, to tell us what he wants us to do. And then 3, to explain his relationship with us. Do you remember what last Sunday was about? The No? They had a reading that talked about Jesus is the good shepherd. That's right. So that's his relationship with us. He's the good shepherd. We're his sheep. So the reading today, the gospel says that Jesus is the vine and we are the branches, right? What do you think that means?
I think it means that I think it means Jesus is like the start and then we are the end.
Jesus is the start and we are the end. You know, that's a good way to put it. Jesus is that which provides nourishment for us, life for us, gives us direction. Does that make sense? And we are connected to him. So in the readings today, the first reading today from the Acts of the Apostles, we learn about Paul. And Paul was somebody who didn't like the people of Jesus. Didn't like them. And all of a sudden he had this experience where he was converted and he became a follower of Jesus. And he went and he met with the people who were the leaders. He met with a man named St. Peter. You know him? But Peter didn't want to meet with him because Paul had been very bad, right? Persecuting them, doing bad things. And so a man named Barnabas made arrangements. Now, Barnabas is a fancy name. Do you know what it means? Barnabas means encourager. That's what the word means. And Barnabas encouraged Peter to meet with Paul and Paul to meet with Peter, put the meeting together. And the word I want you to remember from that first reading today is boldly. Can you say it? Do you know what boldly means?
Yeah.
You do? Good. What is boldly? That's a good answer. What is yours? If you do something boldly, how are you doing? How?
I don't know what boldly means.
What does boldly mean?
Boldly means
What's the opposite of bold?
the opposite of bold.
Bold. Would it be shy? Maybe? Because it says in that first reading that Paul, once he realized who Jesus was, went out and proclaimed Jesus boldly. That means he did it without hesitation. He was not afraid, right? In our world today, people of faith, people who go to church, seem to be afraid to tell people that they are believers in God. Did you know that a lot of people who go to church, they don't even want to carry a Bible or have a Bible because they are embarrassed? Did you know that? Only 50% of the people who used to go to church now, they say. We've dropped that. We're not being bold in our faith, right? So if we say that we believe in who? The guy with the J word? If we believe in Jesus, we should be bold. We should not be afraid to let people know that. Does that make sense? In the second reading today, we learn a word, love. But it says something more. Like you say, you went over to your dad this morning and you said, I love you, didn't you? Yes, you did. I know. I saw you. I heard you. But the second reading says, in addition to our words, I love you, we're supposed to show that we love. So how do we do that? How do we show each other that we love each other? How else? In addition to saying I love you, how can you show that you love? What? How about a hug? How about a hug? Would that work? How about picking up your room before your parents tell you to pick it up? You already did it? See, that was an expression of love. You did what the reading said today. Good job, well done. But it says that we're to express love both in words and in what we do. Does that make sense? And then in the third reading, the gospel today, the vine and the branches. These are beautiful, aren't they? Now these are cut flowers, aren't they? They're cut. What are they cut from?
The vine of the rose.
The vine of the rose, exactly right. Now they're beautiful, right? Aren't they beautiful? But what's going to happen to these in a few days?
They're gonna die.
They're going to die. And why are they going to die?
Because we can't get the nutrients that they need from
They're not getting the nutrients exactly right from the what?
vine.
From the vine. So we are like these roses. We are the branches. We are the flowers. But once we become disconnected from the vine, and who's the vine? Again, that J word. Jesus. So if we allow ourselves to be disconnected to Jesus, just like these roses after a while are going to die, we will die as people of faith. That's why we have to remain. The third word is remain. Remain in Jesus and allow Jesus to be in us. And how do we remain, do you think, in Jesus?
We remain with Jesus by not going to church and
Right. So by going to church, by praying, by talking to Him, right? Okay, good. So that's what we do, because when we are people of faith and we say we believe in Jesus, it means we want to remain in Jesus and we want Jesus to remain in us. Does that make sense? And if we do that, if we remember that Jesus is the vine and we are the branches and we will wither without Him, then that will allow us to be bold in our faith and allow us to love not just in words but also in deeds. Does that make sense? All right, do you have any questions for me? What are the three words? Boldly.
boldly.
Second word is an
Vine.
L word. Love, very good, excellent, excellent. And the third word? The vine and the branches. It's an R word. Remain. Remain. Remain in Him and He remains in us. Does that make sense? All right, amen, you guys, you're great. Go back and don't just say I love you to your parents and family, but show them you love them. Amen? Okay.